Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Hope you are all doing well. So in this last video we had covered till enterprise application. In today's video we gonna cover the devices option. So in Azure Active Directory we will be having three type of devices. One is Azure AD Register, and another one is Azure AD Joined, and one more is Hybrid AD Joined. So all these devices are different when comes to this features perspective and their restriction on Azure AD, right? So we will talk about those devices. So we'll first have a basic discussion on the these three type of devices. Then we will come back to this Azure Active Directory devices option. So when we are talking about Azure Active Directory device management, there are three device types will come under this Azure device. One is Azure AD registered, and another one is Azure AD joined, and another one is hybrid AD joined. So let's see this Azure AD registered. So Azure AD registered is applicable for the devices which is bring by the end user. Let's say you can see it as for bring your own device. So if any users trying to access your corporate environment by using his personal device, that could be laptop or mobile, it will be fall under bring your own device, BYOD. Okay, so those kind of devices will be automatically registered in Azure AD as a Azure AD registered joint type. Okay, so this mobile device, so most of the organization won't allow you to access a mobile device. I mean, mobile device is in the sense handheld device like Android mobile or Windows mobile or iOS device, iOS mobile or something. So those mobile devices, usually will be managed through some MDM services like Intune or Iron Port. There are so many MDM devices is there. Yes, so those devices can be effectively handled by using those kind of MDM services. But but in the layman term, on in the organization which is not using any MDM solution, if any user is trying to log in from their personal laptop to access the corporate the data, then that device will be automatically registered to Azure AD. Okay, so the Azure AD registered have limited actions only. Let's say for the Azure AD registered, you cannot log in by using your organizational account. I mean, to log in when you are opening your switching on your laptop, it will ask you to enter your username and password, right? That place you can't use your organization username and password. Okay, and the same way there are some single sign-on feature is not available, not will not be available for this Azure AD registered, because this Azure AD registered devices the organization will not have control, right? So when the control is not established, that devices will be treated as non-trusted device. Okay, so we can call it as unmanaged device also. Okay, so those devices all fall under Azure AD registered. But let's say for another scenario, Azure AD join. So when you can call the device is Azure AD join. Let's say the organization is providing the laptop. Let's say for the ABC organization, it's providing this laptop to their end user and ask them to use this laptop. This user can able to use this laptop anywhere, like from his on-premises office location, or from work from his home, or in the abroad. He can bring this laptop anywhere, because this application, I mean this the laptop is getting the policies and all the things is getting from the Azure AD itself, right? So Azure AD, as you know, it's a cloud platform. So wherever the user is going and taking the laptop, still all the policies and everything will be enforced to this device. But in earlier stage we had that domain joined devices, right? So the domain joined device is not having the capability. So the domain joined devices to apply the policies, the device has to be connected into the network. So that can be achieved in multiple ways, like the VPN. Nowadays, people are using VPN client to have the devices always connected with their corporate network. But to reduce those kind of difficulties and to have more user-friendly environment, this Azure AD joint devices will be more helpful, because you can still push policy through Azure AD and Azure, and those policies will be still applied to this device anywhere the device is going. And because the device is when the device is connected to the internet, it is connecting to the Azure AD, right? So, and by using this Azure AD joined device, you can able to log in by using your Azure AD account. So whereas in the Azure AD Register it is not possible, but in Azure AD Join, by using Azure AD account, you can able to log in when the very first screen is coming to ask you to enter username and password. And when you are logging in through that way, the SSO will be enabled, the PTR will be generated, and those PTR will be used for single sign-on operations across your devices. Okay, so those single sign-on feature and all you will be getting from the Azure AD Join, and there are some policies also you can put it in place for the Azure AD Joined devices. Let's say for this Azure AD Joined devices only, you wanted to open some files and you wanted the users to first perform the MFA. Those kind of things can be done by using this Azure AD joint. So basically, when the device is Azure AD joint, the administrator may take some control on this Azure AD, but it is not applicable for this Azure AD registered device. Okay, and hybrid AD joint is something the device is which is joined both side on premises domain as well as Azure AD join. So when the device is joined both AD environment, that is called hybrid AD join. You can see here this picture represents that one only. So the organization owned laptop. So the organization owned laptop can be Azure AD joined as well as on-premises domain join. So those devices is called hybrid AD joint devices. So for the see how we are pushing the policy through the Azure AD join, the same way still you can push the policy through Azure AD join, as well as you can push the policies through your on-premises domain through the GPO. All these things can be done. So you'll be having the double benefit if you are having hybrid AD join. The devices can be managed through your on-premises domain as well as Azure AD. So these are all the three major types which is fall under Azure. So, and we have one more option, that is Intune MDM managed device. So for that you have to enroll your device to the Intune, whether it is Azure AD joined or hybrid AD joined. The device first has to be enrolled into the Intune. So once that device is enrolled into the Intune, then you will be having much more control on the devices. You can able to push the policy. I mean, you can able to push the application by using Intune, right? And you can able to wipe the data remotely. All these things can be done remotely. So the Intune will provide that capability across your handheld devices, Windows, iOS, everything. Okay, so those things we will discuss in our upcoming videos. So in this video, just wanted to give you the heads up what are all the types of Azure AD joint devices is there. I mean, what joint type in Azure AD available. So these are all the joint types available in Azure AD. Let's move on to this device option. We will see what are all the things we can see in this portal.azure.com. So these devices are Azure AD devices, we could say. So this is a very first overview page. It will be showing high level numbers. Since this device is not Azure AD joined or hybrid AD joined, it is showing unmanaged device. So it is not managed by your organization. It is a personal device, right? And if since it is unmanaged devices, it is not applied any compliance policies, so it is showing a non-compliant device. and you can see this monitoring. In the monitoring you can see the numbers, and based on the OS type and based on the join type. As I said, the device is Azure AD registered. It's showing the number 1. So there is no Azure AD joined and no hybrid Azure AD joined. Right, in the, when I'm going to the all devices, if you're having multiple devices, you can able to see all the devices entry here. Since I'm having only one device, it is showing only one device, and it is clearly it is showing it is Azure AD registered. Joint type is Azure AD registered. And who entered this device? Mahesh Magi. This is a person, this is a user account who registered this device. Right, you will be having much more capabilities by using this. So as an administrator, you can disable this use this device. Then the next time when the user is trying to access through this device, they will be getting an error. Your organization is not allowed to access through this device. Like that kind of error you will be getting, and you will be getting as an administrator, you will be having another option. You can delete this device. So once it is deleted, when any other user is trying to access the same laptop again, the registration will happen. Right, this is a compliant. You can see here there is non-compliant, and it is showing here the registered time and what time this activity has happened. All this thing it is showing here. So if I click here, it will be giving more detailed information about the device. So it is generated. It is a device ID and object ID. So every object in the Azure Active Directory will be having the object ID, right? So in even the user accounts also will be having object ID. Groups also will be having object ID. So this is a unique identification number, we could say it. And you can see here the device is enabled. OS type, version, what is the joint type, who is the owner, what is the principal name, I mean which principal name they were used to enter this device. Everything can be, bring it out from here. And you'll be having the BitLocker option here. So if you are enable the BitLocker in your environment, so those BitLocker key can be recovered from retrieved from here. So that is option they have provided. In this device settings, you will be having much more granular level option to control end user actions. Like you can restrict who and all able to join the devices to Azure AD, and you can limit who and all you wanted to register their devices with Azure AD. So the Azure AD registration will automatically happen when the user is trying to log in from their personal laptops or something. But that is also you can able to restrict by here. But it's up to you. It's up to your organization policy whether you wanted to allow the users to join the devices to Azure AD, or you wanted to limit the persons only. That you can decide from your own will. And here you can find, you can put one more option for the end users to perform the MFA before they are joining their devices to Azure AD, or before they are registering their devices to Azure AD. And you can put the numbers, how many devices they can have. Let's say for a user, is the user is trying to access from the multiple devices. So whenever they are logging into the new devices, there will be one entry will be created under their account devices. Okay, so those device numbers, if it is exceeding here it is showing 50, right? Let's say I'm setting this up 5. So let's say for this user is logged in 5 new devices, right? So he utilized all the maximum number of devices allocated to him. So the next time when he is trying to log into the 6th new device, he will be getting an error. You exceeded the limit provided by your organization, something like that. Right, so those maximum number registration also you can put it here, and here you can find a local administrator on Azure AD joined devices. So the moment if the device is joined to the Azure AD, there is someone some administrators would be having access on the Azure AD, right? So those administrator you can put it here. So earlier they were giving here to add the groups or ID names, but right now Azure is created a separate RBAC role for that, device administrator. So if you added any user or any group of user in this role, then those users will be having local administrator role on all the Azure AD joined devices. Okay, and the another option is enterprise state roaming. So the enterprise state roaming is something to provide seamless performance across the devices. This Microsoft bring this feature. So whenever the user is logging into any of the any devices, they wanted to have the same kind of feel, same kind of, let's say if they are logging into any device, they might have set their outlook, they wanted to have only this time settings wanted to be there where whenever they are logging into any device, wherever they are logging into any device. So those can be achieved by using this enterprise state roaming. So for this enterprise state roaming, we should be having Azure AD premium license plus EMS license. Okay, so right now I'm not enabled anything. uh, let's discuss about the another part, BitLocker keys. So BitLocker keys can be enabled from Intune, but those keys can be retrieved from here. So this BitLocker key you might have heard about earlier. So if any user wanted to recover their BitLocker account to encrypt or decrypt, let's say if organization implemented the BitLocker in their organization, they might have set some policies. If the user is restarting the laptop or if they are shutdowning and opening the laptop, they wanted to put the uh, BitLocker key and BitLocker recovery key. So those once you enabled the BitLocker through the MDM into an MDM, those keys will be reflected here. So by using the BitLocker key ID, you can find the recovery ID or BitLocker recovery key of the particular device, and you can provide the particular BitLocker recovery key to this device using person. They can perform the BitLocker unlocking. They can log into their device. So they have recently bring this option here. Earlier we supposed to go to this device settings, and we have to figure out which device they wanted to have the BitLocker, and there you can find an option BitLocker keys. But right now Microsoft is provided the dedicated option for a BitLocker keys. That is good. On added logs you can find what are all the action had happened on the devices. By using this you will be having handful amount of information when you're having any issues on device registration or device joined or hybrid AD device joined, something like that. So this option can be leveraged when it comes to issue troubleshooting or some uh, to know about what had happened while registering the device, right? So those while you are facing such kind of issues, that time you can refer this audit logs. And bulk operation, when you are doing any bulk operation, that is the result it will be showing here. So that's it, those are all the options we have. So in the next video I will try to give you the a demo on how the Azure AD registration happen, and how Azure AD join will happen, and how we can figure it out from the end user laptop whether the device is Azure AD registered or Azure AD join or hybrid AD join. So I'll try to cover the demo part on Azure AD registered and Azure AD joined only, because hybrid AD joined we need to create a AD environment, and we need to configure Azure AD Connect. All these things we need to done, then only that will be possible. But this is easy, Azure AD registered and Azure AD domain join. I'll try to cover that first. If I got the correct time, then I will try to provide the demo on the hybrid AD joined as well. So thanks for watching our videos, guys. Hope you are enjoying this video. If it is helping, please feel free to subscribe our channel and share our channel with your friends who's over willing to learn Microsoft 365. So as a part of this initiative I've started with Azure AD, then we will go on all the aspects, all the services which is provided by Microsoft.